What if the teachings of Jesus you've heard all your life were just the tip of the iceberg? What if there's a hidden wisdom, lost over time, that holds the power to completely transform your spiritual journey? In this video, we're diving deep into the secret teachings of Jesus, teachings that were never meant to be locked away in religious texts, but lived and experienced by you right now. These teachings reveal the profound truths about awakening, divine consciousness, and your own untapped potential. Have you ever felt like there's something more to life, something deeper that you just can't put your finger on? Maybe you're feeling stuck or lost, searching for a path that resonates with your soul. Well, what you're about to discover could change everything. This isn't just about faith or belief. It's about practical wisdom that you can apply to elevate your consciousness and truly step into your divine essence. By the end of this video, you'll understand how these teachings can unlock a higher level of awareness and bring more peace, clarity, and purpose into your life. So, are you ready to explore the lost wisdom of Jesus and uncover the truth that's been waiting for you all along? Stay with me, because this journey is just beginning. What if everything you're searching for, the peace, the happiness, and the sense of purpose, is already inside you? When Jesus said that the kingdom of God is within you, he wasn't talking about some distant paradise or a future reward in heaven. He was pointing to something much closer, something already present inside every one of us. This isn't just an idea for saints or the spiritually elite. It's an invitation for each of us to look within, to realize our connection to the divine. Think of it as a reminder that no matter where you are in life, there's a deeper truth waiting to be discovered within you. And yet, most of us spend our lives searching outward, chasing material success, relationships, or external validation. But those things, as important as they may seem, are temporary and can leave us feeling empty. What Jesus was revealing is that real fulfillment comes from within, from tapping into that inner source of peace and divine wisdom. This message is echoed in many spiritual traditions across the world, like the Eastern concept of enlightenment, where true awakening comes from realizing your oneness with the universe. It's not about what you can gain from the world, but what you can uncover within yourself. So how do we access this kingdom within? It starts by turning your attention inward through practices like meditation or simply spending time in stillness and reflection. When you quiet the noise of the world and focus on your inner being, you begin to sense that divine presence within. And as you continue on this path of self-discovery, you'll start to realize that you are far more connected to the universe and to the divine than you ever thought possible. This is the beginning of a spiritual awakening, the start of uncovering the hidden wisdom Jesus spoke about. When Jesus said, "I and the Father are one," he wasn't just making a statement about himself. He was revealing a truth that applies to all of us. This teaching is about recognizing the divine essence that flows through everything, including you. At our core, we are not separate from the source of all creation. We are intimately connected to it. It's like a wave in the ocean. It might look like it's standing on its own, but it's still a part of the ocean itself. In the same way, we might feel like we're separate from God or the universe, but the truth is we are deeply intertwined with it. Many people go through life feeling disconnected from others, from their purpose, and from the divine. This feeling of separation is rooted in the ego, that part of us that sees everything as me versus them. But Jesus was teaching us to look beyond the ego, to realize that this sense of separation is an illusion. When we awaken spiritually, we start to see the world differently. We see that the same divine energy that flows through nature, through the stars, and through every living being also flows through us. This realization is what it means to awaken to your true self. So, how do we begin to experience this unity with the divine? It starts with mindfulness, being present in the moment and tuning into the subtle connection that links us to everything around us. You can practice this by spending time in nature, engaging in meditation, or simply paying attention to the present moment. When you begin to feel that connection, even in small ways, you start to transcend the limitations of the ego. And once you do, you'll realize that the sense of unity Jesus spoke of isn't something reserved for spiritual masters. It's available to anyone who is ready to wake up to it. When Jesus spoke of the eye being the lamp of the body in Matthew 6:22, he wasn't just talking about physical sight. He was referring to spiritual vision, an inner sight that perceives beyond the material world. This teaching speaks to the idea of focusing your attention on higher truths, on the divine wisdom that lies beyond the surface of everyday life. In many spiritual traditions, this is often referred to as the third eye, an inner faculty of perception that allows you to see the reality of things, not just their outer form. It's about tuning into a deeper level of awareness. Imagine for a moment you're walking through a dark room with just a small lamp. That lamp represents your awareness, and the clearer your vision, the more light fills the room, revealing what's really there. When Jesus talked about having a single eye, he was guiding us to bring our focus entirely to the spiritual, to look at life through the lens of higher consciousness. This kind of vision brings clarity and insight, helping us to navigate the illusions and distractions of the material world. When your inner eye is open, you see things not as they appear, but as they truly are. How can you start opening this eye of spiritual insight? Practices like meditation, contemplation, or simply reflecting on your life's deeper meaning can help you sharpen this inner vision. By regularly turning inward and quieting the distractions around you, you begin to see beyond the surface, connecting with the divine wisdom within. This practice brings light into your life, helping you make choices that align with your higher purpose and spiritual path. As you do this, you'll notice your perception of life shifting and the spiritual path ahead becoming more clear. When Jesus spoke of being born again in John 3:3, he was offering us more than just a religious concept. It was an invitation to experience a profound shift in our inner world. This rebirth isn't about physical life, but about awakening to a new level of spiritual consciousness. It's like suddenly realizing that you're more than just your body, more than your thoughts and emotions. To be born again is to awaken to your true nature as a soul, a divine being connected to the vast intelligence of the universe. It's a reminder that there's more to life than meets the eye, and that we're all capable of experiencing a deeper reality. This process of spiritual rebirth is similar to waking up from a dream. Imagine living your life believing that you're just a small drop in the ocean, only to realize one day that you're actually part of the entire ocean itself. That's what spiritual awakening feels like. You transcend the limits of the ego and start to understand your connection to something much greater. This transformation can be triggered by moments of deep introspection, personal challenges, or simply by becoming more aware of the present moment. It's the moment when you stop seeing life through the narrow lens of the ego and start viewing it through the expansive lens of your soul. So how can you begin this journey of rebirth? It starts by questioning the assumptions you've made about yourself and the world around you. Engage in practices like meditation or journaling to explore your inner landscape. Reflect on the patterns in your life and ask yourself if they align with the deeper truth of who you are. As you do this, you'll begin to shed the layers of the ego and awaken to a higher version of yourself. This spiritual rebirth isn't a one-time event, but an ongoing process of growth, one that leads you closer to your true self and the divine wisdom within. In Matthew 7:13-14, Jesus spoke about the narrow path that leads to life, contrasting it with the broad road that leads to destruction. But what exactly does this narrow path represent? It's not about a literal journey or about following strict religious rules. It's about the spiritual path of self-discovery and awakening. The narrow path is the road less traveled, the disciplined journey inward, where we confront our ego, let go of material distractions, and align with our higher self. It's a path that requires courage, as it demands we move away from the comfort of what's familiar and take bold steps towards spiritual transformation. Think about it. The wide path is filled with the distractions of everyday life, chasing after success, wealth, or recognition. It's the easy route because it's what most people are doing. But the narrow path is different. It requires mindfulness, introspection, and a willingness to let go of the need for external validation. Choosing the narrow path is like stepping off the treadmill of modern life and choosing to walk a quieter, more intentional route. It's the path where real growth happens, where you begin to discover your true essence beyond the roles you play or the things you own. So how can you start walking this narrow path? Begin by creating space for reflection in your daily life. Dedicate time to meditation, prayer, or simply being in nature, away from the noise of the world. It's in these moments of stillness that you start to tune into your inner voice, the voice that guides you toward your highest potential. The narrow path might be more challenging, but it's also the most rewarding. As you walk it, you'll find that the distractions of the world lose their power over you, and in their place, a deeper sense of peace and purpose emerges. In John 15:5, Jesus says, "I am the vine, you are the branches." This statement isn't just a metaphor for dependence on Jesus. It's a profound spiritual teaching about our connection to the divine source. Jesus represents the Christ consciousness, the divine essence that flows through all life, and we, as the branches, are connected to that same source. Just as branches draw their sustenance from the vine, we too draw spiritual energy and wisdom from the divine. This connection is not something we have to earn. It's something that's always present, waiting for us to acknowledge and nurture it. When you think about a branch connected to a vine, you realize that the branch cannot survive on its own. It needs the life force flowing through the vine to bear fruit. In the same way, when we disconnect from our spiritual source by getting lost in material pursuits, stress, or the distractions of modern life, we stop bearing the fruits of inner peace, love, and wisdom. But when we consciously reconnect with our spiritual essence, we become capable of manifesting in our divine potential in the world. It's not just about surviving, it's about thriving and bringing forth the gifts that are within us. So how do you nurture this connection with the divine? It starts by cultivating practices that keep you aligned with your higher self. Whether through meditation, prayer, or simply moments of gratitude, you can reconnect with that inner source of wisdom and love. Just as a gardener tends to the vine to ensure it bears fruit, you must tend to your own spiritual growth. The more you do this, the more you'll find that life flows more effortlessly, and you'll naturally begin to manifest the fruits of love, compassion, and spiritual awakening in your daily life. Now that you have unlocked these powerful teachings of Jesus, the real question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Are you ready to apply these truths to your life and embark on your own journey of spiritual awakening? Remember, this is more than just understanding concepts. It's about living them. How will you start seeing the divine within yourself and others? How will you begin walking the narrow path towards self-discovery and spiritual growth? Take a moment to reflect on what resonated with you today. What steps can you take to nurture your connection to the divine, to awaken that spiritual insight within you? Whether it's through meditation, prayer, or simply moments of stillness, these teachings are here to guide you toward a deeper level of consciousness and self-realization. And as you walk this path, you'll find that life starts to shift in ways you never imagined. If you're ready to continue this journey of spiritual growth, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. You don't want to miss the next video where we'll dive even deeper into unlocking the mysteries of consciousness and self-development. Leave a comment below about how these teachings spoke to you, and let's keep this conversation going as we walk this path together.